Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Layla here, and today is day 19, and the word is sling. It's a very interesting word, really, but basically the thing that comes first to my mind is the sling that you have to put on your arm when you break it. That's the first thing that comes to mind, but that's not really something I want to draw, so I do have another idea in mind. So this is my Express It blending card that I cut down. Red colored pencil, fine liner, white gel pen, and then my Ohuhu colors. Ohuhu being the sponsor of this video. And so we have YR3, BR3, BR2, BG4, PB8, YR3, YR33, GY1, R3, R11, and finally P3. So I've got a lot of colors here. I'm pretty sure I'll use them all, but I have a very colorful outfit in mind, so I hope it all comes together though. And so I'm going to go ahead and start with my sketch. So basically my idea is this mother figure holding her baby in a sling. And basically this idea came from the fact that there's actually this sort of device that is called a sling, specially made for holding babies. But in order to make it a little bit more unique, I went ahead and I made the characters more tribal looking, because usually the sling kind of wrap is a very ancient and traditional style of carrying around a baby. So I figured I'd go ahead and design my own ancient tribal character. All right. And I'd pretty much call this sketch done. So I'm going to go ahead and line it. Definitely put a lot more detail than I thought I did. But I actually really like it. And I definitely feel that with all this detail, the end result will be pretty interesting, I feel. And I really like the hair. It's got a very Shiva-esque look to it from Final Fantasy with the rings at the end. I just really like that style. Drawing babies is a little hard. I don't draw babies, or in this case really, this child is like the size of a toddler, honestly. But I don't draw toddlers like this often. But I think when it comes to drawing toddlers, one of the most important aspects to have is making sure that the eyes are relatively big, because toddlers and children in general tend to have quite large eyes. I hear that's due to the fact that we're born with our eyes the exact size that they'll be for the rest of our lives. So since toddlers and babies are so small and their eyes are normal sized, the eyes appear huge. So basically big eyes and squishy faces, because babies and toddlers have that squishy fat look to them. All right, and I think that pretty much concludes inking. Now I'm going to start coloring the mother's skin. And then I have this purple R11. I'm going to add some shading with it. I was originally going to use it to color over the entirety of her skin to give it a less orangey look. Then I figured I could just use it to shade in certain areas, and I figured that effect would look a little bit better than what I was originally thinking of. And then I had it in my head that I would do her hair like this pale blue white. And I'm not sure if I should change that idea or not. I'm just going through and doing it anyways. And it kind of makes me think of, what's that movie? Atlantis, by the cartoon by Disney, with Kira, and how her people have like this white hair, and I kind of wanted to do something like that. Not sure if this color is deep enough though to show up on camera. I hope it is. And then I also wanted to do her eyes blue, and I'm using this brown to do her pupil, which is kind of funny because it obviously comes up pretty brown, but from far away I don't think you can tell the difference. I just needed to use a really dark color to get that pupil in, because otherwise those eyes would have looked a little odd and probably dull. And so I'm trying to make it look like she's got multicolored beads on this arm wrap of hers. And I was originally going to ink in the beads, but then I thought maybe not, because I felt like that would take away from the overall look of it. But maybe I should just do some dividing kind of lines on it. There, doesn't look too bad. Kind of laughing because looks like a Rubik's Cube. Oh well, I still like it. So it's definitely coming out really cool on her belt though. It kind of look like Skittles too. So I figured using this purple would be a good contrast to the beads, with the beads being as colorful as they are. And I didn't add purple into the beads, so it's also kind of a muted purple. I also have this pastel violet that's just a tidbit darker than the mauve color that I just used. And then I had this like scarf thing coming down from her headdress. It's supposed to be sheer, so a little bit see-through. Looks alright. I was a little nervous because I was thinking it was gonna look too much, like there's just too much going on with the piece, but now that I colored it, it doesn't look too bad. And so I'm left with the baby and the sling. I haven't colored them in just yet. Figured I'd get the mama done first. I think I'm going to use this light green GY1 for the sling. And then I'm using this salmon pink color for the baby's skin so that he's just a little bit lighter toned than his mama. Mostly because babies tend to be slightly paler than their parents since they're so like fresh and new and haven't been exposed. There we go. And then this pale blue, whitish hair, just like his mama, and the same eyes. So I figured I'd take my white gel pen just to add some more interest to areas that are open and just have a lot of dead space, I guess you could say. Like, could use some sort of interest. So one of them being this sling that the baby is in. I'm just doing like little white patterns of flowers, and also on her pants. Nothing too much. Like, I'm not going to do the same floral kind of pattern, but I did just want to add a little something. And the big thing about this is knowing when to quit. Kind of getting Madonna and Child kind of vibes from this. I don't know. I think it's just these black rays that I've got going on sort of add an effect of like importance on these two characters. So that's probably why. And that's that. So I definitely like the end result. I was a little nervous halfway through with coloring this because it just felt a little flat, and I had this pretty grandeur idea in my mind, and I was hoping for it to kind of pop more, but didn't seem to achieve that sort of pop effect. And if you enjoyed today's video, maybe comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys. Bye!